every time.
What is
I'm
this doing?
getting punked by Kai, you guys. I didn't even hit play or record fast enough. This kid's punking me right now.
Here, you get a bing. So you gotta keep talking.
So anyhow, oh crap. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. LLC, Rex and Effects. We're back. So, fun week ahead. Lots of stuff related, not related. But we're gonna go over it all and see what we can shovel up, see what happens. Governor, how are you tonight?
I can't say I'm enjoying the simulation right now. It's simulating.
I was like, to what?
Just in general.
I mean, because we could be simulating the spring only to have winter come back next week.
This is true. This is true.
We could be simulating indoor, which is over.
Oh no, Chewy.
Yeah.
Chewy, you gotta.
I mean, we literally have
Oh
this week
no.
and next week, and then it's
Hell no.
championship time.
Championships. Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild, huh?
So crazy.
So,
So
but other than that, just try not to
Get
get
outta
this
here.
awful flu that's going around.
James.
Yeah.
Because it's bad.
Nope. Me. And I've spent 2 days in the hospital in the last week. So not me, like, because I'm sick, but like taking people. So I'm like, nope. Go and put on this mask.
Yep. Do not sneeze on me. Don't do it.
I'll be the ultimate Asian and be wearing that mask all the time. Let me get a tan line. I don't care.
Oh man.
Oh, anyhow, Clyde, aka the father of Kai. How are you today?
Well, Coach Kai was out in Texas last weekend doing a good job. You know, we are off this weekend, and you know, I'm currently being assaulted. So
I know.
you know,
Last week's WWE event is in your house right now. Oh my goodness. He's just punking people left and right. What he does. It's actually quite entertaining. Four Cheeks, are you on camera?
What are you talking about that?
Can you not
that's
see
a
me?
crazy name, by the way.
I know. No, we can't see you. There, now I can see you.
Now you can see me?
Yeah, you weren't in the screen.
I don't know. It has to do with lighting, I think.
Okay.
What were you asking me?
How are you?
I'm okay. I am okay. Sometimes life be lifing. I'm okay.
I mean, but we're around to experience it, so that's what matters.
Indeed. I'd rather life be lifing than me tapping out. So
can we have an explanation as to what your name means?
you know, when people
Turn the other cheek.
yes, when people do poorly to you, you know, the Bible says that you should just turn the other cheek and not meet violence with violence.
Is that what it said?
I only have 4 cheeks to turn. So
Oh, got it.
at some point in time, you must choose violence.
I see.
Is that the eye for the eye chapter?
No. That chapter comes after.
Oh, my bad. It's confusing.
Eye for the eye. Eye for eyes is early. That's the the more angry God.
See. You're just bringing it all back to me right now, Cheeks. Because
we're not gonna spend the show calling him Cheeks.
Yes, we are.
That's not gonna happen.
I think I like that. Speaking of Cheeks, really quick, I do want to say this on camera so everybody hears this. We love our wonderful theme song as written by Brother Udon Cheek. We have not forsaken it because we don't like it. We have editorial time constraints because we all have jobs, including our former sound editor who now is a sprint coach. So we give it to y'all on time and unedited as opposed to edited and 4 days late. So
Well, on time is relative sometimes, depending.
see,
but
listen, I wasn't
most of
throwing
the
you under the
time.
bus. I was just saying it is as on time as can be without the music. We are working on figuring out how to get the music back in. We love the song Brother Cheek.
So yeah, I'll do better. I'll work on it. So, but anyways, we're as we said, we're figuring it out. So we're gonna go ahead and start out the gates a little hot because the youngest member of the USATF Olympic team decided to do that too. Quincy ran. Is it just a high school record, or was it a different record other than that?
U18.
U18.
Got it. So, I mean, that happened. I mean, what do we think? We think this is continuing after Olympics, starting off the year to signify something.
I mean, he only ran 44:20 last year,
I mean,
which is
that
insane in itself. I think we're past superlatives at this point. I think it's more,
right?
yes, go ahead and destroy every single record in the U20 division, and then let's see what else happens. I feel that's how I feel about him. I mean,
I was impressed because we got to see something we didn't have to see last year, which was resilience. Like
yeah,
he got beat by a high schooler 2 weeks ago.
yes, he did in the 600. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for him to come back and be like, hold up. Maybe y'all have forgotten who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Maybe I have forgotten because he said that, right? Like, he needed that kick in the butt himself. I was impressed with that, to be honest, because a lot of times kids as talented as they never have any competition truly.
Yeah.
So they don't ever have to deal with what's it like to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually impressed that he bounced back real quick.
I think it's fair to say we are all huge fans of Quincy Wilson. His path, his arc, if you will, is intriguing. And as a fan, scary. Like you see, let's be clear. He dismantled the field in Boston this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He's an East Coast kid. He's been running, indoors forever. He knows these tracks. He knows that building. But the savviness and the patience and the way that he just took apart, that field, it speaks to, how great he is and potentially could be.
Which, oh, by the way, included Jareem Richards.
Yeah, no, listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jareem has successfully transitioned himself
Yes.
to a
Yep.
world-class 400-meter runner.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody forgets that he's a 19.200-meter guy.
Yep.
And he goes out there and pops out, 20.1 or whatever it was on the first lap.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's like, yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm gonna see y'all at 300.
Yeah.
And then walks away from him.
Yeah, man.
So he's far beyond his age as it pertains to race savvy and patience, and moments aren't too big for him. All the people that were like, oh, the moment in the Olympics was too big for him. No, it wasn't. He was hurt. Had nothing to do with the size of the moment.
Yeah.
He was just hurt.
Right. So it's like, I don't worry about any of that. But just because he's a kid, like literally a child, I'm just one of these people that worry, like, man, I hope it lasts.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, history
it's
has not
so
been
much.
kind to wonderkins.
Nope.
No, it has. It really hasn't.
History has not been kind to
yeah.
wonderkins.
And the cliff comes fast and it's ugly, right? And so I'm just one of these people, like, I love watching that kid run so much that I hope we don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no signs of it right now, but it's like he just came off this Olympic schedule and he's basically in the opening meets feature of the indoor season. So, like, is he pursuing the world team indoors? If he is, it's a great story. He'll probably make the team based
Yeah.
on what we just saw. He'll probably win USA's, right? But Worlds is in October or whatever the hell it is. So it's just like it's so much, and it's fun to watch.
I mean, what's so funny about to me about the Quincy Wilson story is just like, all right, do you tell the high school kid stay in school and like don't miss any class or go to World Indoors, which is in China?
Yeah.
Do you tell the high school kid, hey, stay in school, stay in class, don't miss school, don't go to World Relays and represent your country, which is also in China? Right? Like these things happen during the school year.
Yep.
I mean,
I mean,
is
both of
he
those things happen during his school year.
he's still taking the official visits. Is he going to go to school?
Mm-hmm.
Is you know what I mean? Like
That's what has been said coming out of the camp, but who actually knows?
there's so many angles to his, like I said, his arc. Everything that is the Quincy Wilson experience. There's so many interesting angles to it.
I wonder if now that we're outside of COVID, you know how they're doing the asynchronous, you can go online and still graduate from your graduating class. I wonder if he has that option, because then it becomes not irrelevant, but the travel then can be handled.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Because
has
it's
a
not,
whole nother year of high school after this.
Yep.
but so what I'm saying is like, because they have these, it's not homeschooling anymore. Like that's not necessarily a thing, and it's not independent study anymore. They have these whole factions of like online high schools.
Yeah,
So
I know
I
what you
wonder
mean.
if that becomes a thing, you know? I mean, it's cool. I think it's all cool, and I think it's a great experience for him. I do wonder at some point, does he stop running these high school circuits and moves up? And I think that in turn, like, what repercussions does that have if they do? I think it's super
Like,
cool what he's run so far, and it's confidence building and all those things. But at what point does he not get stimulated and not like it and think it's not enough? Or the high school meets start saying you're too much and not allowing him.
yeah, I mean, it's a cool story for sure. Um, I I just hope that everybody around him, and so far, to everybody's credit, I'll say for the most part, especially he has two very involved parents. So far, everybody's you know been good with him being a kid, and so I hope it stays that way. And because like you know what I would hate to see, I'll give you a perfect case in point. You know who should be the national high school record holder in the triple jump? Will Clay. But Will Clay graduated from high school early, and his second semester, which would have been his last semester in high school, instead of jumping against high school kids, he went to Oklahoma. Now, did he win a national championship indoors? Absolutely. But he's not the national high school record holder. And in a lot of ways, I think that kind of stinks.
Mm.
And so I hope he at least gets, the Michael Norman experience where he like gets to be the best guy in high school for a whole year and do to high school kids what he would do to high school kids, so those high school kids can tell those stories later on in life. Right? I ran against Quincy Wilson when I was in high school, and I was in the national high school record race, those kind of things. But, at the end of the day, man, listen, that dude is, as long as he stays healthy, he seems to be in good hands.
Agreed. So, talking about circuits, talking about meets, Grand Slam track is back in the news, and for something that we spoke about, so not that no one else did, but I'm glad someone was loud enough in their ears just to push for something like this. But they recently announced that they have, what's the word I'm thinking of? An agreement, a broadcasting agreement
Broadcast deal.
with Peacock, right?
Peacock and CW.
CW, there you go.
CW for live television, Peacock for the stream.
Got it. So CW is picking up some traction in sports. I mean, they
Yeah.
have 2 agreements, right?
They, I think they kind of really jumped into that with the Tour de France like 3 years ago.
Oh, well, no, I was talking some what conference, or there's a school that's on the CW. Is it
I mean, they
SMU?
broadcast a handful of collegiate games and whatnot.
Yeah,
But they have I think they have part of the F1 stuff now.
yeah.
You know, I don't really care who the network is, just as long as Grand Slam track is going to be on live TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a very critical piece of this. If people want it to be taken seriously, if people want it to have a chance to do what Michael Johnson thinks it can do, right? You had to have it on live television. And so, like, I don't care if it's NBC, CBS, whatever. I'll take, whatever it is. So, congrats to them for getting that done. And for the people who still, prefer the stream world, the fact that Peacock is going to put it on is cool. Like, so they covered.
I think what I like the most about the Peacock piece is that gives us a pretty fair fighting chance that Otto is one of the commentators.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And if I'm honest, the next like mandate after getting these 2 things done was getting Otto.
Well, get if you tell me that the broadcast for Grand Slam track is Otto and Big Homie, I'm here for that.
Listen, done, 100%.
All right.
But he's coaching. He's collegiate coaching, right?
Sure, but
Yeah.
they can lend him off for a weekend, few
Is
hours.
he at
Delaware
Delaware.
Delaware State? He is at
Yeah.
Del State.
No, listen, it was a big deal that piece of it is here. And so now we're gonna be able to see what kind of legitimate traction this thing has in this country. Because again, the premise that we need to be saved is still a faulty premise.
Mm-hmm.
But it is true that America doesn't care about our sport. So
Yeah,
this
like
now
we might
gives
not
it a chance.
might not need to be saved, but we did need to be seen. I will say that.
Sure. And this being done this way and on live television. Listen, if we're not going to watch this, we're not going to watch anything, right? You got a shrunken timetable. You have limited events. You have almost every big name star that you can want, and it's on live TV. If we're not going to watch this, then we're just not going to watch.
Me and all the field eventers are boycotting.
Sure.
For the record, before anybody sends any stupid emails, I absolutely am kidding. I will watch almost any kind of track that's on television.
So I'll say this, and because I think at some level we all do it, right? So we were at Texas Tech this past weekend. They have their streaming through ESPN. When I get home from the travel, I go on the ESPN and I look at the meets that have been streamed. And I'm sorry, just hitting the button and wading through the meets that are streamed, it's terrible. Like, I'm glad I can do it, but oh my God, is it bad?
Like the quality of meats, is that what you mean?
It doesn't. The Arkansas competition was a high quality meet. Watching it on stream
Mhm.
is tranquilizer darts. Like, it's
Oh.
terrible. Luckily, you can slide. Like, you can look at the meet schedule, like, okay, I know that the 400s are happening right around this time, so let me just go find that and watch that. But if I just hit play and sat there like a zombie, no chance. So I say all that to say, like, just having it available isn't good enough. The production value matters, and you need autos or competent people in a booth talking about the competition. Like, there's so much dead space in our sport.
Mhm.
Like, you can't just stream it and be like, hey, it's on. Like, no, there has to be a level of production value, and hopefully that is what we will see through this piece.
And it's funny that you said that, because that's always been my, I've never had a chance to sit down with a producer or in a production truck, but that to me is the ultimate selling point for track. And the thing I think that we have butchered the worst in the United States that they get right in Europe is that our sport has dead time fillers, all of the field events.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, there is no excuse. You should be able to watch a track meet, especially one that's tape delayed. You should be able to watch a track meet for 2 hours straight and have almost no dead time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But we mess it up. Right? Like, we mess it up. And that part, I don't know that's ever going to change, because the model is the model in the United States. But that's the one part that I think that the European coverage has always done better is, we know that there's lag time in between races, right? You got to bring in the next race and let them warm up on the track or whatever it is. Like, there's a lag time.
Mm-hmm.
Show 2 long jumps. Show somebody throwing the jet. Like, there's always a field event thing going on. And so, like, that's the one part that I would say to a producer, that if you build it as a 3-ring circus and 2 hours of action packed, right, as opposed to, track meet in a can, I think we could package ourselves much better. But let's be frank, we do most of our damage as a sport to ourselves.
Yeah.
We are the Plaxico Burruses of professional sports.
Well, speaking of self-damage, can we talk about the news that just popped into our feed? that that the long jump takeoff zone trial has started in Dusseldorf.
Oh Lord.
The Sean Jackson model has found its way into world athletics. We're actually going to entertain this. We're going to treat, with all due respect, and I'm saying this on purpose, we're going to treat the professional athletes
Yes.
at the highest level
Yes.
Like
the
6-year-olds?
way we
Like
need to do the
6-year-olds.
Special Olympics.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do.
Yes.
Well, let me take you one step further in that particular event, because I don't even know if any of you guys know this. The Adidas long jump shoe 2 weeks ago, everybody heard me, right? 2 weeks ago was deemed ineligible by World Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Would anybody like to guess what the gold medalist in the long jump won the long jump in a couple of, or I guess half a year ago at this point? Outrageous. The season, you go through an entire offseason, entire fall, and 2 weeks ago, World Athletics says that the Adidas long jump shoe has too great of a rocker? Is that what it is?
But
It's too big of a launch.
which version of it?
That's the thing. Adidas only makes one. They don't have multiple long jump shoes. They have a triple jump shoe that is different, and they didn't like that one a long time ago. Which is also crazy, because I had the guy at World Athletics tell me that the triple jump shoe, which most people use for pole vault, you could use to sprint, but you can't use it in a field event.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense.
That's true.
Right.
But no,
and the same is true of of this ruling of the Adidas long jump shoe. You could sprint in it if you wanted, but you can't long jump in it.
But I'm asking for the distinction because last year, and this is going to sound stupid because it obviously had nothing to do with the color of the shoe, but one of the colors was the exact year that they banned, and the current one was okay.
Yeah, so the gray
Yes.
one, the sole was too thick, and that was the
The
triple
sole was
jump
too
shoe.
thick. Yes.
Correct. So
The black
Cheeks
one
is
was
now
deemed
saying that the new
okay.
joints, the green
Yes.
ones,
The black one is
The black-
is yeah. The one from the games. KST.
Come on.
oh, the
Yeah.
black one. Oh, okay.
And if you don't believe me, go back and look. There is a long jump result from, I think now it's 2 weeks. Tintoglu jumped in a pair of Mizunos for that very reason, because this happened so late in the game that Adidas hasn't even made a different shoe yet.
Wow.
But we're going to jump off long jump zones. I know I seem like a broken record sometimes, y'all, but I have said this multiple times on this show. The World Athletics way is to make it up as they go. When in doubt, mess with field events. That's what they do.
It's so funny because I was reading the article earlier today, and they interviewed Malika Mahambo, and her words, the choice of words. Oh, this is going. I'm willing to try it, whether it works or not. I'm willing to do, and I'm just going. Oh my goodness, you could just tell that this is not good. This is not good, and forcing this on a generation of athletes
So
that
bad.
don't want it.
Yeah.
You know, there's actually an advantage to having such a small zone.
Yeah. You know what they say in golf? Aim small, miss small.
Hello?
Right? It's exactly the concept you're speaking of, right? You've jumped off those 1 foot boards.
Absolutely.
They're the worst.
Yes.
And you leave the competition with a bruised heel for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
So now we got a
Absolutely.
takeoff zone that's even bigger than
Yes, yes. 40 centimeters. So
Wait,
you're
'cause
talking of,
Go ahead.
what's that?
I was gonna say, I can't remember this, so pardon me, but is there even a foul line at all?
No,
No,
no.
just be in the zone.
So,
It's
but
just a
what if
zone.
you're out of the zone?
Well, sure.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
it's
But
a
the zone's
foul.
40,
Okay, that's what I
40
mean. Yeah.
centimeters.
And if I remember correctly, they're going to do it the same way they started doing the long jump board. So it's going to be electronic, right? It's
Yeah.
going to have a
Right.
laser.
Yes.
So they're not going to have a human mark this. They're gonna have they're gonna do what they've been doing. There's gonna be one person sitting off to the side of the runway looking at an iPad.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
You know, my biggest issue with the jump zone is we know it's gonna get repealed. Like there's no way this is staying for just an absolute myriad of reasons, right? But when you roll something like this out and you get people to try and get used to this for a year or two, you know how hard it is to put that genie back in the box?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're telling me, because I can tell you this right now, if it's me, right, this is exactly what I would do. I would leave everything I currently do exactly the same, and I would just really and truly come out of the back hauling ass as hard as I possibly could every single jump. Because if I'm used to 8 inches, ain't no way I'm fouling at 40 centimeters.
And there's no
There's
need
just
to change it.
There's just, right that way I make no changes. If I'm over, I'm over. Who cares? I'm still going to be within 40 centimeters. And
Oh
so,
my
like,
goodness.
it will, in so many ways, it will take. Look, the definition of the long jump approach is maximum controllable velocity. We could just throw that out the window now. You don't have to be in control.
So what I was getting to earlier is for the athletes that like to stick their foot out, okay? And we know who they are, okay? Now you have all the room in the world to
Yes.
stick your foot out.
Yes.
It's
And
so
not learn
short.
skills.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Zero skills. Zero skills.
You know, we spend as coaches, we spend an inordinate amount of time with newcomers, with athletes that have been coached a certain way. And we spend a year, 2 years, 3 years getting them to understand the concept of putting your foot down and how that can actually add 2, 3, 4 years to your career. Like the fact that you're never going to slide on the board
Yeah.
if you put your foot down. And now you're giving them license
To do just that.
to do just that.
Huh?
I mean,
Like, the injuries that are going to come from this are far worse than injuries that you could currently expect from the long jump.
man,
I just, like, for context, I need people to understand this. The current long jump board is 20 centimeters and the scratch board was 10, right?
mm-hmm.
So that's like taking the basketball hoop that we have been hooping on since birth
That's right.
and making it twice the size that it currently is.
Because some random ex-athletes have convinced you all that they're worse shooters now,
Correct.
even though there's no real evidence for that.
Correct. And to act like that's just okay. Like, it sounds so ridiculous when you say it about anything else. But again, because it's track and because it's a field event, I'll ask a stupid question. Who do the athletes have to complain to about this? Like, think about that. Let's make all three of you world-class long jumpers. This comes down the pipe. What recourse do you have?
I've lived it. I've been through the experimentation, the 40 meter. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The 40 meter limit.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got jumpers like Carl and Mike Pedroso, like all of a sudden within a matter of weeks, months, having to completely reconfigure their
Like, take
approach
off
that they've
like 4 steps.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been
Well,
through.
we've gone from what, 90 seconds to a minute to 30 seconds to a minute.
So here, check
that
this
right?
out. The new rules replace the traditional single takeoff board with a 20 centimeter red band at the end of the runway. Any jump starting within this zone is valid with distances measured from the athlete's closest footprint to the sand pit. Simultaneously, a 40-second countdown per attempt aims to accelerate the pace. 40 seconds.
Well, why do you need time to concentrate?
Oh my God. Stop it.
But I'm just like, look, just do this same kind of thing. Pick a sport. Like, imagine tomorrow the hockey goal is twice the size as it currently is.
So while this is happening, are they speeding up the pole vault?
No. No.
Better yet, are they limiting the theatrics in the 100? Or are we still going to have a
No.
laser show?
We will have a 15-minute prelude.
When the
I mean,
The
hurdlers
that's
100-meter
why.
final.
when the
That's how we're
hurdlers
making
come
it
out,
happen.
they still have to warm up and go over a few hurdles because we got to make sure they're comfortable before the gun goes off, right? But the
That's
long
only thing
jumpers
that
basically,
matters.
the long jumpers start long jumping from the locker room. Like, ready to go. It's just so ridiculous, guys. And I think, again, my bigger issue with it is World Athletics is the boss because they say so. But there is no where's the recourse? Do you guys remember when the NBA tried to change the basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do y'all remember how resoundingly that got like it
Oh,
didn't make it to a
that
season?
flamed out
Yep.
very fast.
They gave the top 150 players in the league one of those balls 6 months before they started in the season. And it still didn't last for a whole season where they were like, nah, we ain't doing this no more.
Right.
But that's because the players have a union and they're collectively bargained for, and they have a commissioner to complain to. All the long jumpers in the world could get on a plane together and go to Monaco and demand Seb Coe come out and talk to him, and literally nothing would happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
They sit in a room in their ivory tower and make rules that are just wrong. And
Mike Powell chimed in. This turns a long jump into a guessing game. The board's precision is what separates the greats from the rest.
That's right.
look, without the scratch board, the world record is Carl Lewis's, and it's like 30'6" from Indianapolis.
Yes. Yep.
And every human being that is older than 40 years old knows this.
And
Like,
even
it's
that foul was called into question. Like it was
exactly
that close.
that
Mhm.
foul was a plain foul, no mark in plasticine.
Yes. Yeah.
With a jump zone, the world record is like 9 meters 26 or something.
And honestly, maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want to turn long jump into, some playground hood game that we all used to screw around with. I don't know.
So
Like,
they're
no, you took off from here. No, I saw you. You took off from here. Like, it's dumb.
so they're picturing a scenario where jumper A is on the runway, runs down, takes off, measurement comes up, jumper B is on the runway, ready to go.
Yeah.
And you're just
45 seconds, baby.
figuring
40.
it out.
Rapid fire.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
It's like a JV tryout.
Yeah. And now you're equating 45 to 50-meter run and a takeoff. Who needs to recover from that? Nobody, right? I don't know. We could be on this all night, Big League. This is wild to me.
But it's
I think
worthy. These are the conversations that we have to have and that everybody has to hear because they don't know all of it.
The part that's
Right.
crazy is they literally are messing with one of the best events in the sport.
Yes.
Like, I mean, the events are like children, right? I'm not going to pick one over the other, but from an entertainment value, the long jump, like, inherently has some of the best athletes and the most drama. Like, it's a good show. So, like, this is like the third. We've been doing this show for 5 years. This is the third thing that's been done to the long jump.
That's true.
That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, we're gonna do these kind of things. Like, there's so many other things we could do. Like, why can't we have the same technology on television as hockey does? So, for a discus or a hammer, right, have the lit up puck technology.
Yeah.
So on television, somebody
you can
throws a
see the
discus,
trajectory.
right? You can
Yeah.
see the trajectory of the
Yeah.
discus or the hammer. Like,
Yeah.
how cool would that be?
Absolutely.
I don't know. It just.
I mean,
There's so many other things we
do
could
that
do.
with the jav. Can you imagine doing that with the jav?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
The hammer.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on them to raise the women's hurdle.
I mean, right?
How cool would this be for the javelin? The javelin comes out of said javelin thrower's hand, right? And projected on the screen is a football field. So
Mm.
our normalized American fans who love football can see how strong the arms of all these people are. Right? Because, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes have hand cannons, but then they would find out that these dudes throw
Yes.
something that is way heavier than a football, way
Yes.
further.
Yep.
Like way further.
With precision,
Tyreek
like
Tyreek
more
can't catch
precision.
this one. Right? Tyreek can't catch this football. So there's just so many other like $1 million ideas we could use all this wonderful technology to showcase our sport, but we still doing dumb things like taking away world records because we don't have Seiko blocks. Running outdoor 60s to qualify for an indoor world championship. Banning the long jump shoe that just won the Olympics like less than a year ago. Like, what are we doing? But this comes back to, weren't we just saying this 30 minutes ago on this show? Most of our wounds are self-inflicted. Like, I'm going to refer to us from now as Plaxico Burris and Field.
A lot.
Shorten up to Plax and Field.
Oh my gosh.
If someone gets hurt in Dusseldorf, I don't know, man. What is this zone made of? There's no. Is it just track?
You're not allowed to ask these questions, sir. What do you know about the long jump?
Probably is just track. Because it's not like they cut a new runway. It's not like they cut a new runway.
See, you're killing me because I know that laugh. I know why you're laughing. But man, like this is my baby here. Like, why are we messing with it? Why?
Because we know for sure that there's nobody out there whittling 40-centimeter boards or constructing new aluminum or steel trays to put said 40-centimeter board in.
Oh man.
Look, I'm Googling it right now. What?
Oh.
New long jump board made of. Anyways.
Oh man. Yeah. Let's just suffice to say this is what we think of that.
Or as the kids say, womp womp.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is I make that quick Google and I can't find anything on it.
Oh, I know that's not surprising.
Well, I mean, like, of course, all the American stuff comes up first, so that's why I think that's part of the issue. But
Elon blocked it.
Stop
my
it.
gosh, that's actually funny. So this isn't it, but everything I'm finding is aluminum, which can't be right. So I'll dig deeper later. All right. So speaking of our indoor track stuff, who is missing right now that we haven't seen?
My favorite name in track, Kambonji. I just love saying her name. Just because it just sounds like you should be screaming it. I don't know. I'll take Christian Coleman for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't consider Christian Coleman to be missing. I understand that he's the world record holder in the 60, but his new camp don't run indoors. So I would be shocked to see anybody from that camp running 60-meter races.
That may
trust the
indeed
process,
be,
right?
That could be the reason, right? I mean, I can't really fact find or argue with you as to what that reason would be. I'll just say that if Christian Coleman doesn't run indoors this year, that is sort of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. From an indoor perspective, I guess I'm always happily surprised when I see whomever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, and the
Sid,
year after the Olympics, it is always dodgy.
right.
I'll agree with you there.
If Sid graces us with her presence indoors, that will be shocking in a positive way. I'm not gonna say she's missing because there's no way in hell I expect to see Sid. I would.
Well, she hasn't run
It
indoors
was
since
fun,
college, right?
right? It was fun to see Raya this weekend running.
That
That was
you
cool.
you're about to you read my
Yeah.
mind right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was dope.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see Michael Norman. You know what I mean?
Listen.
I don't expect to see anybody from that particular Florida camp. I'm not even being the block. I don't expect anybody from the block to pop up indoors. Yeah.
I mean, there was an Arion Knighton sighting, like
Dude, hey, listen.
running the
I,
60.
More
I'm
like
so
a
glad
one-eyed, silent, undercover kind of peak.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said it though. Listen, that dude running 661 against nobody is a problem for everybody.
Yep.
Right, but
Um,
so to that point though, do we think Arion taking an Uber down the street to run in an indoor meet in Gainesville, is that more of a practice, or are we gonna see Arion again? Like, I'd bet money that we don't.
I would imagine that was probably your acceleration stuff has been going pretty well. Let's see what it
Yeah.
looks like in a meet.
Trial run.
Right.
Here we go.
But look, but I get that. Like, he's a Florida kid that's never really run indoors. Like, sure. But we're talking about the guy who's literally cut his teeth. Like, he became famous indoors. That's why I'm saying, to me, he's missing. But you know, this speaking who's missing question brings about another ancillary question to this. The last of the calendar kerfuffles caused by COVID, yeah, I said all that without mumbling, is this year. We have an indoor European Championships and an indoor World Championships, which almost certainly will not be contested together. They are incredibly close together and incredibly far apart geographically. So I would say there will be some people who will do Europeans and indoor worlds, but there will be a great number of Europeans that do not do worlds. That I will, add to it. It's the year after the Olympics and all other stuff. So, like, I get that, but that's why the question, right? Like, it's sort of intriguing to see who's missing from indoors and who's kind of gonna do indoors.
Well, one of the more entertaining people the last couple of years from indoors has been Femke. Didn't Femke announce that she ain't doing it?
I don't know.
I haven't seen an announcement, but to your point, by now she certainly has run in every other year.
Right. I'm pretty sure I saw some kind of announcement from Femke where it was like, "Yeah, we're not doing that this year."
I here's the thing. Like, let's really talk about what we're talking about here. You have indoor world championships the year after the Olympics, and simultaneously indoor European championships, and simultaneous to all of that, the calendar got moved back 2 months. Right? There's a lot going on at the same time with this indoor season. Like, there are definitely more reasons to not do indoors this year as a pro than there are to do it.
So the Europeans are the 6th to the 9th of March. And World Indoors are 21st to 23rd of March.
Yeah, they're 2 weeks. It's exactly 2 weeks. And indoor Europeans is where?
Indoor Europeans are in Holland. Yep.
I mean, you might as well take those if you're going to do it, take that 2 weeks to make your way across continents. Don't come back and go from here.
Apeldoorn, Netherlands.
It's just a tough ask. 2 championships 2 weeks apart in and of itself at the pro level is insanely difficult to do, let alone one in Europe and one in Asia.
Yeah. So
not to mention, you got right on the horizon, right behind that, you got World Relays.
Yeah.
Also in Asia.
So in succession, if you're a track fanatic, you've got European Indoors, NCAA Championships, and World Indoors 3 weeks in a row.
Woo! Correct.
That's phenomenal.
That's
You
gotta
are correct,
that's
sir.
that's gonna be interesting to see which collegiate coaches
Mm-hmm.
try to achieve that,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
right? Do you even try? Because
Mm.
like, I mean, that's what I was referring to, right? We have a couple Europeans who train in the States, and there's more than a couple coaches who coach all of those levels or all of
Mm-hmm.
those type events. What do you pick and choose if you pick and choose at all? That just sounds like it hurts. My head hurts already.
Well, it's
just
it's really a prelude for outdoors because it doesn't get
Yeah,
any
similar.
easier. It's going to
Yeah,
be
very similar.
absolute madness. Yeah. Yeah, good observation, Cheeks. I will never call you Cheeks again.
No.
I can't have this.
I won't do it.
Can't have this.
Maybe it's better if we say four cheeks.
No, it's
No,
actually not. It actually is
no.
worse.
Oh,
Just keeps getting worse. Jeez. Fathom that.
oh,
Fathom that.
oh.
Well, we wouldn't be who we are if we didn't give our Super Bowl predictions. Super Bowl.
Yes, yes. I will say I had a question given to me from the audience. So while we're thinking about our answers for these Super Bowl predictions, I want to ask this question for the audience. Which do you think is a more difficult ask of a gold medalist? To be the gold medalist in the mile and run an international level 10K, or be the gold medalist in the 100 and run an international level 400?
10K.
Feel like the answer would have to be the 10K.
Everybody's got a thought. Think about it, but let's do these Super Bowl things.
The Super Bowl is very simple. I will be turning it on to watch Kendrick. I am here for whatever petty. Listen, I am King Petty.
No, I think he has taken your title.
No. This is what I'm saying. I am King Petty. I can only aspire to be God level petty that Kendrick is. 5
I mean,
Grammys in a Canadian tuxedo
in a Canadian
is,
tuxedo.
it's too good. So
There's so many parts of that that are just too good. Every single time he got up from his chair to go get an award. Hey Drake, I heard you like him young.
the whole industry, the whole music
This
industry,
the
A
same
minor.
the same clip was played, and then the 4th Grammy he goes up, the entire crowd sings A minor.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
Listen,
yes.
I saw a thing on my Instagram feed that popped up and says, no matter how bad your day is going, just remember that Drake's day is worse.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's completely correct.
so I'm just here for whatever halftime is. It's like going to an HBCU game. I don't care about the game. I just want to see the halftime show. Okay. Now, as it pertains to the game, I am openly rooting for the Eagles, right? But
You're
the
so
reality
bad.
is somehow, some way, Sirianni will do something dumb and Andy Reid won't, and it'll be a close game. And I'm telling you right now, on Wednesday evening before the game, late in the game, they're going to throw in the flats to the left or in the flats to the right to get the first down, to secure the whatever. You know it's coming, and somehow everybody's wide open. I don't understand. It makes no sense at all. I am not a professional football coach. If I know the play and I'm at home, how the opposition doesn't know the play is beyond me. But that's what's going to happen. And the Chiefs are going to win. And then all the lies are going to start. So, yeah, that's what's going on.
Anyway,
I
Q, I feel
cannot.
like you need to put him on mute right now. That was some nonsense. KST, what you got? You
Well,
know
I
what?
can,
Listen, I'm gonna be out of pocket, so I'm gonna go now, so I'm not last. Listen, I told y'all what was gonna happen before the football season started. Remember when we did the show? We did the way too early predictions. I told y'all who was gonna win this friggin' game. I'm not changing my mind, and you can't convince me to bet on anybody other than Patrick Mahomes until something different happens. I don't get the hate and the disrespect and the nonsense because it's all ridiculous vitriol. Like it's insane to literally be openly rooting against a guy and a team because they win too much and don't nobody want to see a three-peat. That's insane to me. Like, accept the fact that we're watching greatness, enjoy it. It ain't gonna happen very much longer, and it may never happen again. So at the end of the day, as a Giants fan, I love Saquon, but he's had enough. I don't need to see him get a ring this year.
That's exactly
So-
why I'm rooting for the Eagles.
I completely understand that. That's a wonderful story for so many people to run up the flagpole. At the end of the day, as a Giants fan, it is easy for me to root for the Chiefs to win, not to mention I picked them to win before the season started. But I certainly don't need – I want to see Saquon get a ring. I really do, just not this year. Right? Like, we all want our exes because we're good people. We want our exes to eventually like have good lives and like, pick a person that they love and like have a family and be awesome. Just not right after you. Right? Because then you feel like it shines you off back, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I want Saquon to get a ring down the road. I don't need him to get a ring and finish like the best running back season ever, immediately following our GM and our president arguing about whether we should re-sign him, and us making, to be completely honest, the fiscally prudent decision not to re-sign him, and then just have it blow up in your face, right? Sometimes you make the right decision and it still blows up in your face. Listen,
man.
I'm a Giants fan. If my Giants had paid $6 million a year over market value, like the Eagles did for Saquon, I would have been like, and this is why we can't have nice things. So we did the right thing. It just blew up in our face in an awful fashion.
Man.
Yes, I am openly, aggressively rooting for the three-peat, for the ridiculous shenanigans at halftime, for this stupid debate like with Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and like that has been a weird thing because I'm like, Beyonce's not involved in this, but everybody's mad because she won. She didn't get nominated for a CMA, but then she won the Country Music Award thing, and like somehow that's Taylor Swift's fault. I don't get it, but whatever. I'm here for all of that, all of it,
Yes.
and 0% for Saquon to win a ring this year. There, I'm done.
Well, very well put. And I echo the same sentiments. I feel like anybody that is rooting for the Eagles, God bless you, because the train has long left the station. Okay. And everything that we've seen to this point is like, this is the ultimate marriage of entertainment and sports.
Yeah.
This whole thing has been building up. So now you have the ultimate rap battle. You have the ultimate
Can we call it a rap execution at this point?
yes.
Oh my
You have
gosh.
I mean,
it was though.
You have the ultimate marriage between the greatest pop sensation in the world and the tight end from the Kansas City Chiefs. You have a three-peat in the making, which has never been done. All of this, you have one of the greatest seasons ever by a running back. Congratulations. But let's be honest. Unless the Eagles are up by 35 going into the fourth quarter,
with 3 minutes to go.
with 3 minutes to go. Unless they've already put in their second teamers and all of that. No. I feel like this is inevitable. And we've been down this road before. Way back when with the Celtics. We've been down this road with the Lakers. We've been down this road with the 49ers. We've been down this road with the Patriots. Right? And the same
The last repeat, the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees.
98, 99, 2000.
The hate was real, and it didn't matter what part of the country this team came from. Like I was just reading, I don't know if you saw the article that the Chiefs are now the new villains.
Right. It's insane.
It's insane.
Who was ever hated on anybody from Missouri?
It's wild.
Never. Like,
Absolutely wild.
look, 2 years ago, everybody was happy the Chiefs finally won something.
Yes.
They were happy
Yeah.
for the Hunt family and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
It's insane to me. And I'll say
Yeah.
this, for all those idiots out there that think that the refs have been cheating for the Chiefs, I'm just going to say this. If you think they were cheating before, what do you think that they're going to do in this game when everything makes sense for the league to have the
Yes.
Chiefs win?
Yes.
Like, it makes no sense that people are on that train, that anybody thinks that the league was cheating for the Chiefs. But if you thought they were, you should bet every penny you have on the Chiefs, right? Because clearly, if I'm in for a penny, I'm in for a pound. If I cheated for them to beat the Bills, I'm sure as hell going to cheat for them to win the Super Bowl.
Man, I cannot get that last play out of my mind where the two of them start going in motion across. I'd never seen that in my life. And I'm trying to, I'm like,
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have.
They do
Yes,
it
you
all
have.
the time.
They run that formation like 12 times a game, and they run 3 different plays off of it.
yeah,
And the one play they never run off of it is the one that they ran.
a pick play
Listen
for the
to this.
running back.
The Chiefs,
It's literally, no, they ran the exact same play to the running back to beat Houston 4 weeks ago.
one of the variations on that play is the quarterback keep, right?
Yes.
They have run, since Patrick Mahomes got hurt doing the sneak, the Chiefs have run three called quarterback keeps for Patrick Mahomes. 2 of them were in that game.
Wow.
Right.
But Andy Reid knows,
Yeah.
if I ran a play and it works, if I just wait a while, I can run it again and it's going to work. Because anybody want to bet that we see the play where the wide receiver starts out wide, comes in 2 yards, runs a jerk route in and a flat route across it? Anybody want to bet we see that?
Yeah.
It's all the same concept.
It's all the same concept.
They've run that play in 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
They're gonna
somehow
run
the
it
Eagles
again.
will forget it when they need to.
Or goal line, and he shovel passes the ball right down the
I was just
middle.
about to say, I will bet $20 that we see a shovel pass to or from Travis Kelce at the goal line.
Yep.
Again, we're at home. We know this.
We know this. We know this.
So, you know, if there is such a thing as a petty God, we have a wonderful opportunity here because you got to pay attention to the news. We know that SZA and Kendrick are going on tour after the Super Bowl. So SZA will be a part of So SZA will be a part of the halftime performance.
Right.
And we're all here for that because SZA's awesome. I just want Kendrick to embrace every possible petty being in his 5'5" frame and have one more guest on stage. Just one. Do you know who who needs to be on stage?
Who's that?
YG.
Oh boy.
Because the clown is coming to the game. Kendrick, please. Just one time.
Oh my
You ain't even got to play the whole song.
Oh,
Bring out YG and hit it.
Oh man.
Like I have a question. Like everybody on this show knows that Kendrick and SZA used to mess. I mean, not that that Drake and SZA used to mess around, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Chu, did you know that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They were much younger, but they did.
Interesting.
And
They have each written songs about each other.
Yes, they have.
but
That's interesting.
if we're going down that road, Drake, in typical Drake fashion, was very braggadocious and put it out on a song because that's what he does.
That's what he does.
SZA never really said much of anything.
No.
Right. Right.
She's
You
just
have to
on
know.
TDE.
Yeah, you just have to
So
know.
this moment has come
Yeah.
because don't get it twisted. 30 for
Full
30
circle.
is totally a shot across all lanes. at Drake.
I know this much, that they better have at least a 90-second delay.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
They better.
Bring YG. If you
All
don't know
right.
the song between Kendrick and YG, look it up.
Oh my gosh.
Big League, who you got?
The Chiefs.
All right.
I mean, I would love to say with confidence that it wasn't going to be the Chiefs and it's going to be the Eagles, but I just can't say it. I couldn't even finish the thought when I was trying to formulate it. So it is what it is.
I learned my lesson with Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I was right about Tom Brady in every Super Bowl that he was in, including the 2 lost ones. Like, the only reason I thought the Giants were going to beat him was because matchups make fights. And they were the only team that had any modicum of success in close-out games with the Chiefs in those 2 seasons. I mean, with the Patriots in those 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when Tom was all but dead and they're playing the Falcons, I said to a room full of people, if the Falcons throw this football one more time, they're going to lose.
Wow.
Because at some point in time, even as a fantasy football guy, I understand that staying in bounds and letting the clock go away secures the win, as opposed to scoring the touchdown and then kicking them the ball.
Yes.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
But math is math.
Mm-hmm.
If the Falcons in that game, once they were up, was it 28-3?
Yeah.
3.
At that moment, had they run the ball and used all 40 seconds of the clock and went 3 and out every time they got the ball,
there's not enough time.
There wasn't enough time for them to lose.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, you just have to accept your W and not do something stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes until somebody beats him. And the only guy to beat him in the Super Bowl or beat him to get to the Super Bowl is calling the game.
2-0.
So you're speaking, and I cannot get that last play in the Seattle game out of my head. That will forever live in infamy.
If I was a Raider fan at the press conference, I would have said, "Hey Pete, run the ball." Because I will never forget. Listen, I love Pete Carroll. I will never forgive him for that.
Yeah, man. That was.
And you know who else will ever forgive him for that? Marshawn Lynch.
He, to this day. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Marshawn showed up to the press conference.
Yeah.
Marshawn is there for Pete.
Because he ain't gonna ever let Pete forget.
No,
Run the ball, Pete.
All right, Chu.
All right. So with Cheeks' voice going out the way it is and digitizing, we're just gonna be like right there. But that's our cue. That's our hook off the stage.
I've never seen Clyde like this on the show.
I know, right? Cutting it off. So, all right,
It's
y'all.
like he's just like.
I'm having some version of Cheeks every week now.
Yeah, see, look, it's still digitizing. So with that, travel safe, have fun, be safe on Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll talk to each other soon. Bye, everyone.